So, dear Shambra, here we are. We're coming now into our new series, which I've titled Passion 2020. Can we get that graphic up on the screen? Passion 2020. Your passion is to be here as Merlins, to be here on this planet to show people, all this noise and these games and everything else you're playing are just that. There is something far above it, and that is being the Merlin. The Merlin is the one who allows energy to serve them. That's it. And that's why we're here, and that's why we can proclaim that this next series is Passion 2020. The passion is personal to each and every one of you, but it won't be anything like your old passions. It won't be a hobby. You're going to truly be the standards for this planet. It is a huge responsibility, but it is also your passion. It's why you came back. It's why you've endured everything you've endured up to now. It's why, you could say there wasn't instant realization. It's why there's been times you felt so damn lonely and so ineffective because it was just waiting until now. You'll have a rekindling of passion within you. This is what I'm here for. I get it. And remember, it's not a cause. I came here to be all that I am, to be the Merlin, to bring the magic back to the planet, period. That's it. And that is such a passion, a real reason for being here, a real reason for letting your light shine. First question of the day. We've been discussing this amongst some of the Ascended Masters. It was brought up originally by a small group of Shambra somewhere in Northern Europe. There was about 3 or 4 of them that got together and said, we really need to start writing a book of standards and values about what we're learning and what we're doing. And they came to us kind of psychically and said, so what do you think about that? And we discussed it. And I said, I'm going to take it to Shambra. So the question I have for all of you today is, do we start writing what it would call the standards and values?
This is my first time,
Welcome.
so I can speak to it from the point of view of somebody coming into it. And
yes.
On one hand, it is a little overwhelming. I don't know where to start.
Yeah. Where did you start?
YouTube. So maybe if you could find something in the middle where there's like little pointers, maybe don't even go so strong as like a guideline or
Sure.
you must whatever.
Yeah.
But just say, maybe you want to start here.
I think it would be all right for them to write down their experiences, but it's got to be their experience for them and not a prescription for anybody else.
And I think as people go through their reading of these Shouds and everything, they make their own connections. And I think it kind of, helps them to decide what their own values are. I don't see a real need for values and standards.
I wouldn't do standards and what was the other one?
Values.
We need to tell our stories.
Mm-hmm.
That's the books we need to write because that's what people can relate to and that's what will ignite something in them, not just the dreary stuff that we went through.
Yep.
I would like to have, I'll just say it, what the hell is a Crimson Circle? I mean, not converting, but, it's consciousness, but it's not a cult, but it's about realization, and the people go,
Huh?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Because it would be defined, and I wouldn't want it defined.
Okay.
If I would suggest anything, it would be questions and answers,
Right.
or a roadmap
Right.
of what the different parts of Crimson Circle material library has.
Uh-huh. Okay, so I asked the question, and it's a very legitimate question, and there's no one answer to it, but I'd say a couple of things from my perspective. Not quite yet. You know the stuff, you know the lines, but you haven't really quite fully embodied them yet. So I'd say not quite yet, but at some point, people are, this is going to really open up in a lot of different ways. Somebody's going to figure it out, that there are these people who are just like these walking magi on the planet. And they're going to start tracking it and tracing it. And they're going to find their way right to Crimson Circle. They're going to want to know what's going on here. What are your foundations? And if they were to ask you today, you would stumble and fumble and you'd tell them what you're not, but you wouldn't be able to tell them what you are. I bring this up today, and we'll come back to it in a couple of years. But I wanted to start feeling into it. What are the things that you have realized? Next, I'm going to introduce a new thing we do in some of our Shouds together, a new little segment. I'm going to call it Practical Magic for the Modern Merlin. Yes. It's time to really allow energy to work for you. And in order to do so, I feel it's important for you, the human, to have a trigger. You think about it sometimes. You've heard me say the words energy serving you. You think about it, but now I want you to start doing it. Coming up with, first, a trigger. Something that is unique to you, meaningful to you, you have to do consciously. You have to really stop for a moment and do the thing. An energy trigger is when you say, energy, I command you to serve me. That's what it's all about. Energy is always here, and it's always serving you. That is true. It's not like it hasn't been here, but what happens is typically in a tight situation, the human's energy center, their energy sphincter, tightens up. You're in a tough situation, and what happens? You squeeze in. You restrict the flow of energy at a time when you should be open to energy. It's like a faucet. Suddenly you turn the faucet nearly off. You restrict the flow of energy at the very time you should be opening it up. That's the way of the Merlin. This is very, very important also to understand there is no agenda in it. When you do the trigger, it's not about saying, here's what I want for the outcome. The outcome of whatever happens is going to be perfect, and it always is. That is Magic 101. Never, ever, 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 ever use it on another person. It's you and your energy. Never have an agenda or what you think should be the outcome. We'll only do that at graduate level. Right now, it's this simple. You open rather than close. You allow rather than restrict. The moment you desire an outcome, the moment that you're setting an agenda, you are limiting energy by its very nature. And then you're going to go mental. When you simply allow it to be and allow whatever comes with your energy. It's not God's energy, it's not the planet's energy, it's not anybody's energy. The moment you allow your energy to be, you're going to discover what true magic really is. You're going to discover then how you can be in the midst of the chaos of the world, and it simply doesn't affect you.